received the results of the necropsy done on the whale. The whale died after being hit by a ship.
There was a mass line and net and some plastic bags found in its stomach, which likely were the cause of it becoming so emaciated and stranding.
As surprising as the dark depths of the ocean are, the golden sands of our beaches sometimes bring the most astonishing creatures or unexpected situations to its visitors. Mysterious remains, breathtaking phenomenon, and utterly bewildering finds. These are the shocking beach moments that no one would have believed if they were not filmed. We all have seen videos of whales beached on the shores, but I bet this one will blow your mind. Here's a red-colored whale found on the main Beach Point lookout, but wait till you get a closer look. See, it is actually hundreds and thousands of whale lice partying on the carcass. The fact that these tiny critters have completely engulfed the massive body makes it eerie and fascinating at the same time, as nothing like this has been witnessed before. A few years back in Spain, scientists rushed to La Palma Island to examine the carcass of a sperm whale washed up on the beach. But when they got to the site, they witnessed something unexpected. Turns out, they had hit a jackpot with this seemingly ordinary find. After thorough examination, they found out that the giant had lost its life because of precious ambergris stuck in its intestines. And this material was worth $430,000 in the market. The team suggested donating the money earned from their find to the people affected by volcanic activities in the area. Police were called at the beach in Pattaya, Thailand, when sunbathers witnessed a highly decomposed carcass of a dolphin in the area. Authorities immediately sprung into action and took proper steps to recover and preserve the animal. Still, some people even felt easy sunbathing next to the carcass. I must say, they've got some guts to do that, because I would never be able to do such an act. This tiger shark washed up on an Australian beach, and despite its aggressive nature, some fishermen came forward to help the vicious predator. First, they removed a hook from its mouth, and then started their rescue mission. Keeping in mind their own safety, 3 of the locals grabbed the giant from its tail and brought it close to the water. After long, tiring efforts, they finally managed to get it back home safe and sound. A bright day at the beach turned into a sad situation when people found hundreds of pilot whales stranded on the sand in Western Australia. Drone footage from the ocean showed that the animals were already in a huddle before appearing at the beach, and scientists still don't know what caused it. Half of the members from the pod were alive, and efforts were made to rescue them on time. Remember how we used to get excited about Draculas? Well, turns out these mythical creatures actually exist in the ocean world. This is the macrocus fish, a perfect character in a horror movie. Its big bulging eyes and the whole jaws covered in teeth make it look like a perfect Dracula fish. Thank God they're found at depths of 660 feet to 9,800 feet underwater in the North and South Atlantic. That way, we won't be encountering one alive. Fishermen in Thailand spotted a bride's whale floating in shallow waters near the shore. And soon, they called for help to take it out of the area. The whale was so big that heavy-duty machinery was needed to retrieve it. After that, the body was taken by scientists so that they could study more about these ocean animals. In a cozy corner of the Atlantic coast, local fishermen and a bunch of clever dolphins have teamed up, generation after generation. These dolphins are like underwater shepherds, guiding schools of fish straight into the fishermen's nets. But wait, it gets better! The fishermen have learned to wait for a secret signal from their dolphin pals before they swoop in with their nets. It's like an underwater game played between two completely different worlds, with the dolphins calling the shots.
It's absolutely clear that the dolphins are calling the shots here. These lads are doing absolutely nothing. They just stand there with their nets. And it's only when the dolphin makes a very clear signal that they deploy them.
Just as night fell over the beach in Ciargo Island, an unknown creature of the dark made its entry. The fishermen were making their way back home after a long day of work when they came across this mysterious creature. It had hair all over its body and an unidentified skull. Many people on site thought that it belonged to a mermaid, but its true species is still not confirmed. All of these tourists have gathered around to help a great white shark make a safe return to the ocean. This sight was recorded at the Cape Cod beach as people witnessed that the predator needed their help. They tied it with a rope and then, with a collective pull, got the shark back to the ocean, safe and sound. People at the coast of La Caleta town saw an orca stranded on the beach. So they all sprung into action and decided not to wait for any crew to arrive. They all worked together and started a rescue mission with their bare hands. Slowly, a whole group of kind-hearted beachgoers emerged at the scene. And when the rescue teams came in, they helped them too. Finally, after continuous efforts, the animal returned to the ocean safely. A group of fishermen in Greenland Cove made their way to the beach to start the day, but they found something they had never seen before. A huge 26-foot carcass of a basking shark was laying on the shore. They knew they had found something unusual and unique, so the scientists were immediately called to the scene, and even they could not understand the reason for its exploration. Around 200 melon-headed dolphins beached themselves on Boa Vista Island, turning the once peaceful scenery into a rather tragic one. But hope did not die out, even in these conditions. The locals and tourists stepped up to save these important members of our ocean world. Scientists, on the other hand, could not understand the reason for the mass stranding. But thanks to the people's efforts, most of the animals were saved. Sea lions at the La Jolla Cave were tired of people crowding their space. So they took matters into their own hands and decided to get rid of each and every person on the beach. Normally, these sea pups are seen calm and playful with humans, so such an aggressive behavior was quite out of the blue for every person on scene. Luckily, the people understood what they had to do and left the place safe and sound. It is normal to see crabs and turtles on the beach, but how about witnessing a crocodile sunbathing on the same spot? People in Mexico were thrilled to witness such a sight, and luckily the canine was there just to have a good time and was not interested in the people.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
But such a sight can turn into the perfect horror movie if hundreds of crocodiles gather at one beach. It's creepy how they're all looking in the same direction. Do they know something we don't? Beachgoers were baffled as a massive, mysterious globster sea creature washed up on the beach in the Philippines, sparking fears among locals that it was an omen of an incoming natural disaster. The body measured to be 20 feet long, giving it the looks and feel of an actual monster. Experts believe that it was nothing to be feared, as it was just a highly decomposed carcass of a whale. A rare pygmy whale washed up on the coast of Sunset Beach in California, and due to their rare status, many people on site were surprised to see one alive. The animal had most probably interacted with a shark before appearing on the beach, which shows why it was in the questionable conditions. Megalodons roamed our oceans millions of years ago, and their traces are still found here. A young girl playing on the beach in North Topsail stumbled upon something that went extinct for millennia, an actual megalodon tooth. She discovered it while searching for shells. It was almost as big as her palm, showing how large the actual fish must have been.
A girl on spring break went home with a treasure millions of years old. Found a megalodon shark tooth.
Fishermen in Krabi Island, Thailand, found this creepy-looking fish when they lifted the fish trap from their floating basket. At first, judging by the horror looks and uncanny resemblance with Freddy Krueger, the locals thought they had captured a juvenile sea monster. But once the video circulated on the internet, its true species was revealed. It was actually the most venomous fish in the world. You guessed it right, it was a stonefish. Even though these men were handling it without any caution, they stayed safe from its venom. People at a beach in Indonesia experienced something far more thrilling than their imaginations. Back in May 2017, they witnessed a 15-meter-long carcass critter floating in the water, and no one could pinpoint what exactly it was. The condition was so bad that it was hard to tell what animal it could be. Locals believed it to be some kind of deep-sea monster, but considering its enormous size, many experts suggested that it was a highly decomposed carcass of a baleen whale, but how it ended up on the shore is still unknown. Beachgoers at Bondi Beach in Sydney came across this eerie-looking creature and simply could not understand what they were looking at. It had human-like lips and a skin similar to a whale. The person who made the video explained it was a decomposing coffin ray, while some joked it could be a cross between a shark and a human. What do you think it was? Imagine catching a fish after hours of hard work, only to find out that it is already devoured by hundreds of sea lice. This creepy catch shows that even the tiny creatures can cause some serious trouble when it comes to ocean life. Now, I know you must be asking what this odd-looking creature is. But trust me, it's just a giant wooden log. This object startled many beachgoers, and get its peculiar looks because of these tiny sea critters latched onto the surface. Every single strand you see here are actually gooseneck barnacles, and they are mostly found on the rocky tide pools. Now, wasn't that satisfying? This was the sound of frozen ocean waves breaking down in tiny ice shreds. And yes, it is possible. This happened in the UK, when the temperature dropped so much that the ocean literally froze and formed ice waves. A similar incident happened in Russia as well, where the ocean water turned into tiny ice discs, putting up a show for every person who visited the beach. Nature can truly be mesmerizing when at different points. Bizarre jelly-like creatures had covered a whole beach in Spain and scared every beachgoer as they started thinking it was the indication of a presence of a bigger sea monster. But the truth was far different. Upon a close-up look, it was revealed that it was a whole swarm of Salpa Majore covering the beach. These amazing critters are completely transparent and float in the middle of the ocean. But changes in wind direction and sea currents tend to push salps towards the beaches. You must have heard that leatherback sea turtles are the biggest ones of their kind. but I'm sure you never would have seen one this size. Even the people on the beach were truly amazed at the sight of the gigantic animal casually strolling through the beach. Even all these beachgoers looked tiny in front of this majestic creature. I'm often amazed at how magical our oceans and its life can be. This fisherman could not believe their eyes when they saw what their net had caught on a casual day. According to the men on site, they had never seen a stingray of this size and magnitude before. After interacting with the creature for some time and taking exciting pictures with it, the men freed it again to roam in the waters and got a thrilling memory of work. Looks like Patrick is having a party with his whole family. This amazing phenomena was captured on the Garden City beaches, and every person on site couldn't contain their excitement as they saw a star-studded beach. Some gathered these critters to take home with them, while others picked them up and brought them back to the ocean. Massive-sized squids normally inhabit our deepest ocean, so when these people spotted one on the shore, they just couldn't contain their excitement. The gigantic critter baffled every person on scene, and they instantly took it for further examination. After measuring the squid, they learned it was 8 feet long and 2 feet wide, unlike anything they had seen before. These villagers will definitely be enjoying seafood tonight. While wandering the beach, a visitor stumbled upon a delightful surprise crawling in the warm sand. These were tiny, hairy critters. With their spiky exteriors and heart-like shape, these sea creatures seemed like tiny, mystical gifts from the ocean, and the way it moved its spikes was almost hypnotizing to the viewers. Once he flipped the animal, the man realized that it was a heart urchin. It then started moving across the area and made its way all around. Sunbathers at the shore of a Texas beach experienced something different than the usual crustaceans and sea animals. As odd-looking black blubbers started floating in the waves. Upon closer inspection, the people realized these were giant oil clusters that had made their way to the beach. Such things can happen during drilling at the ocean floor for crude oil, as some of it spills out and is carried away by the ocean. But the odd thing is that the ones experienced here were far bigger than the usual tiny ones. Residents of the town of Trout River experienced this unusual and rather disturbing sight on their way to work, as a humongous 80-ton whale carcass was floating near their shore, and it appeared a lot bigger than normal. The actual case was that the body was bloated with methane gas, which is formed during the decomposition process, and could cause that whale carcass to explode at any moment. Now, no one would like to witness that, would they? Hopefully, it was removed on time.
The smell of it right now and the gradual rotting of the whale is going to cause havoc on the community health-wise as well as for tourism.
Panama City Beach was crowded by a different kind of visitor on this day. Instead of the typical human rush, the whole coast was covered with hundreds of stingrays. Drone footage shows how these ocean dwellers had made their way to the shore and were taking over every side. Even the people in the area were surprised to see so many rays and could not resist but film the unusual moment. All of these turtles have gathered on the beach for one main purpose: laying their eggs. Every year, this beach in India welcomes hundreds of endangered sea turtles that use the sand to create nests and bring new life to the world. They first extensively search the area to find the right spot for their offspring, and once it's found, they start digging for their eggs. I hope the little ones hatch soon and get to spend their lives in the vast ocean waters. I bet you'll be surprised to see this footage of seemingly ordinary clams. At first, it looked like a normal beach, and then hundreds of clams made their way to the surface to breed and feed, making onlookers feel amazed. Imagine laying down in this area, and suddenly you feel all of these critters tickling your back. So awkward. I've seen lava volcanoes before, but this one is quite new for me. I had no idea that there were ice volcanoes. Although they are not as big as the ones we all know about, it's still fascinating to see that even water can erupt from icy mountains. And I know these look small from a distance, but you'll get an idea of their real size when compared to a person. See, now it looks relatively big to me. After watching this video, I'm even more impressed with how nature works. An unusual sight unfolded at a beach in Florida as beachgoers came across hundreds of vibrant blue jellies covering the sand.
Been to Florida before and never seen anything like it. It's crazy.
These were actually blue sailor jellyfish that were carried away with the ocean water. Although the authorities kept cleaning them up, more and more of these mesmerizing critters emerged from the water and took over the beach. The best part is that they don't sting and are not harmful at all. So people can enjoy the blue sailors without any problem. These transparent pickles are actually marine invertebrates called pyrosomes and were appearing in record numbers in areas where they had rarely been seen before. Surprisingly, the tube is not one animal, but a colony of hundreds of microorganisms living together. The blooms have left scientists scratching their heads, but some speculate that because they require warm water, a change in temperature caused this sudden bloom. This mysterious, gooey sea creature washed up on a beach in southern Thailand. Its dark pink slime resembled a sci-fi movie creature and was seen sticking on a rock at a muddy beach during low tide. The person who spotted it had no idea what it was, but netizens had answers. Some commented that it was a magnificent sea anemone, but it's strange for them to be in low tide areas, while others suggested that it could have been a jellyfish. If you are a fan of slushes, you are definitely going to like this one. Winters in several parts of the world turned the ordinary seawater into a giant slush. The waves moved across the beaches, but in more of a slurpy way. And obviously, surfers could not let go of such an opportunity. Many people came out to the beaches to enjoy this unusual scene, and even documented their experience.
Guys, I've never seen slush. Don't know what to expect. It looks like it's about ankle high with some slush burgers coming in, boys.
Beachgoers were amazed to witness hundreds of mysterious balls moving through the coast. But it was just nature pulling a prank on us humans. It's another video of frozen ocean. This time, the waves and the air teamed up to create huge ice balls from the water. The perfectly spherical balls in the water convey quite an alien feel, but it's simply just a natural phenomena. Red tides in Tampa Bay brought a lot more horror with them than just the terrifying looks. A whole beach was covered with fish that perished because of the algae bloom after the incident, and with it came giant Goliath groupers as big as 60 to 70 pounds. Beachgoers took out their phones to capture this unusual yet creepy sight as they were walking by the coast.
This one that we found in the center. I'm gonna push the camera in really close and show you that.
I'm sure you must have seen sundollars on the beach, but have you ever seen this many invade the shores? And the fun part is, most of them were alive. Locals and visitors of a beach in Seaside rushed over with bags to collect these ocean gems. Such kind of invasion doesn't happen very often on Oregon beaches, but here in Seaside, they seem to have thrown a party. Even the Seaside Aquarium was as puzzled as everyone else about why so many had washed ashore.
Beachcombers started noticing that the sand dollars began washing up over the weekend. word has since spread, and now people are showing up and collecting them by the bagful.
Now, what can be more adorable than two lizards hugging each other at the beach? Now, I know they look cute and all, but they're actually fighting for territory. I guess hugs are not very liked by this species. The town of Atalico turned into the perfect nightmare for people with arachnophobia when the whole beach got covered in more than 900 feet of spider webs. The creepy crawlies had spun their webs over everything they could find, from plants, boats, and even benches on the lagoon. This happened when a spike in mosquito population created the perfect paradise for spiders to eat, sleep, and multiply in the area. If you love art and beaches, then this is the perfect spot for you. The bioluminescent plankton in Newport Beach turned the whole sand into a gigantic canvas for beachgoers. Whenever they touched anywhere in the area, a vibrant blue color sparked there, enabling the people to make anything they like on the sand. This beach shows how amazing our planet and its nature can be. The reason behind this spectacle is both fun and eerie. Hundreds of transparent balls washed up on the shore of Mar del Plata Beach. Out of curiosity, people started to collect these odd objects. The experts explained that the strong northeast winds stirred the sea, bringing ashore a swarm of translucent snail eggs and seaweed. Nature's interesting play created a unique and memorable scene on this Argentine beach. This group of swimmers at a beach in New South Wales, Australia, got to witness something we only see in National Geographic videos, as a seal dashed right beside them to grab a tasty snack. It went straight between the people and had its eyes fixed on the prize. It's funny how it's not even bothered by the presence of humans all around it. I hope the seal gets to eat the fish at the end. Remember that alien from the movie Venom? Well, looks like that life form also inhabits our oceans. A group of friends were looking for seashells on the beach when they came across these black-colored critters chilling in the water. I guess we can also gain some superpowers by creating a mutual understanding with them. Jokes aside, I'm not sure what exactly these can be. So, if you can help me identify its species, do comment down below. This mystery sea animal left locals baffled after it washed up on the shore of the eastern coast of Russia.
Похудел. Вот хвостяра какой.
The enormous furry beast had no eyes or proper face that could be used to learn its species, and it had 4 sections on its body. The add-ons to the riddle were that the hair was tubular, making it look like rotten muscle fibers. The scientists were also confused about this enigma that the ocean had thrown at them. Could it be another decomposed animal or ancient deep-sea critters? Comment what you think. If you ever visit Oregon, you definitely need to see this marvel of nature. These alien-looking structures are none other than wood that once belonged to a lush and busy forest. There were almost 200 stumps of once Sitka spruce trees. The whole forest was buried inside the sand during an earthquake, and after years of erosion, it took this alienated form. People from all around the world come to this place and feel overwhelmed at this marvel created by nature. Meraki boulders are a must-visit to every person who goes to New Zealand. And the reason for their popularity is quite clear. These perfectly round rock formations have amazed every viewer ever since their existence, and these were formed almost 65 million years ago. Legend says they were the remains of eel baskets washed ashore from a wrecked canoe from the heavens, while scientists suggested these are concretions created by the cementation of the Paleocene mudstone.
Look at this, that's like really like round one. Very good form, just perfect. Look at this.
Now, here's the best architecture in the natural world. This crab is on a mission to create the most cozy and beautiful home for itself. Just look how it's gathering the sand and staking it around, making a dome-like structure. And within a few seconds, its underground house is ready. Now this is something creepy. Several people at beaches in Florida and different locations spotted human-sized Legos washed up on beaches. At the moment, all the people on site were left scratching their heads as they could not understand where these came from or who did it. But after some time, the mystery was solved. These were done by Dutch artist Igo Leonard, who had planted these art pieces on several occasions.
Beachgoers in Sarasota, Florida made an unusual find.
So I figured it probably fell down from up above somewhere, so I don't know.
Sunbathers immediately took out their cameras to record this mysterious object flying over the ocean. And to their surprise, it really looked like a UFO. After that, the government has officially announced the presence of aliens. Could this video be an actual proof of extraterrestrial life? What do you think? These fish are not in any trouble. They've willingly come to the surface. You're looking at mud skippers, one of the fish that I personally find the most fascinating. These unusual critters are perfectly capable of walking on land and swimming in water. You must be wondering how they do it. Well, these bad boys absorb oxygen from air using their gills and specialized tissues in their skin. It's truly unusual and amazing at the same time to see these fish walk on land so effortlessly. Open discussion. 3 enormous sperm whales, each stretching an impressive 48 feet, were discovered on a beach near Skegness, UK, drawing large crowds. The awe-inspiring yet heartbreaking sight sparked a mix of amazement and sorrow among onlookers. These whales were believed to be a part of a larger pod that experienced similar fates in other parts of Europe, and likely encountered trouble in the shallow waters. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.